Good morning and welcome back again. Today we are going to talk about next session is talking about limit. As we mentioned before that in the chapter 14 we have function of several variable, maybe double variable and go to on. Maybe you have x, y, z, maybe you have f, x1, x2 till xn variables. For example, you have something in the vector space. You say x, y, z, rho, and theta. Your function depends on many things: sine, theta, cosine, rho over something, y squared plus z. So it depends on the function that we have. We have several variables. The easiest thing is start with double variables, if you understand. طبعا, you know, this is the definition of limit. You saw that one in the calculus. And this is the purity things. But here, we don't care about the theoretical things. We are going just to the application. So we are trying to find limit. Before we start, if you remember that, in calculus 1, when you have limit of function, you say x approach to x naught, means that x to some numbers. This one is number. And for your f of x, you get some result on y. For example, when you say f of x is equal to x squared, you see when limit x approach to 0, for x squared I'll get 0. What do you mean? I mean by that, this is my function, I know. And when I'm going to 0 from right side, and when I'm going to 0 for left side, on x-axis, then the function, it's a green, the function is going to where? On y-axis is going to 0. Is that clear? So this is movement, changing value, delta x over x-axis. That one approximation value, approximation output result over y-axis. Clear? For example, if you say limit of x approach to 0, 1 for x squared, I know that 1 or 2, let me say 2. You know, in that case, you are talking about 2. So positive 2, negative 2. On y-axis, I'll get what? On y-axis, I'll get 4. Clear? 2 square. Oh, you got it? What do you mean by that? I mean, for example, if I put more than 2 for x, means that, what do you mean by more than 2 for x? I mean 2.0001, 2.0002 or 01. This is mean 2 from other side, from right side. And what do you mean by 2 from left side? We mean by 1.9999. Clear? So, means that when we mention something, the limit is what? Is the approximation value. Then, in your mind, in your imaginary, you will substitute this one in x squared in your function. You will get what? 0. For example, 001. You will get what? 4. Am I right? 0.0002, something like that. This is for the positive part. How about for negative part? I'll get what? I'll get 3.9999. Clear? So, because when I came from here, I'll get 3.999 on y-axis, and when I came from here, I get 4.001. Between these two numbers, there is approximately 399 for 0.001. So we will meet at 4, right? That's why we say the result x approach to 2, in my mind positive negative, for x squared approximately will be 4. Because this is approximate value, this is approximate. What was our path? There was no path, just right and left. Am I right? Hello? Clear? Look, you say limit of for 0 1 over x. I'll get what? Who knows? Undefined. Good. Undefined. What else? UD. Infinite. What else? Bahri Nadia. Indeterminate. Does not exist. If you say sometime this later, if you answer wrongly, I'm gonna charge you. You just say it without thinking. So, yalla, cheater. What else? Does not exist. Take it, Rish. Yes. Come on. How was 1 over x? Graph. Cusp. Right? كسب يعني هلال. يعني monk. When I'm going to 0, I'll get what كعك element? Positive infinity. That's خوش. Y is going to where? When I'm going to over x axis, look, like a car. When I'm going to x axis to 0, my graph is going to where? Over y. Over y. To up. When I'm going to negative part, I'll get what? The graph is going to where? The black one. Clear? Then you say does not exist. Understood? Good. It's not indeterminate. Indeterminate is something else. Careful. Indeterminate is 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity. And many cases. We got it in calculus 1. Otherwise, you have video. Without like or subscribe, you can watch it. Okay. Free. You got it here? Good. So, you need to review limit actually. Because as well, you for calculus 2, you use it. So you need just 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 videos, I don't know. What's in the indeterminate? Just one chapter, quickly, just review it, because you need it here. Good. Now, we have properties. For example, if I say limit of x approach to x naught for f and g, which they are 2 different functions, we say is equal to limit of f plus limit of g, and I'll get L plus, for example, W or M. What do you mean? For example, if limit of, I have 2 functions, f is equal to x squared, g is equal to x plus 1. There are 2 different functions, right? When I try to find limit x approach to 0 for x squared plus f plus g, I say what? I say result of here 0. Result of here is 1, so is equal to 1. Am I right? This is L, this is M. So also, I can solve them like that. Am I right? Hello? And I'll get what? 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. So it means that you can play with the result because there is no function of the limit can be distributed over addition, can be distributed over subtraction, you can bring out scalar, then or constant, then you can find the result. You know what I mean? For example, if you have, for the third one, you have 2x, x approach to 0. So how we can play? You say limit x, am I right? And I'll get what? 2 by 1. Clear? Hello? We bring out this one. It's not variable. We can play with what? With scalar. The same thing true for double variables. The same thing true for double variables. Look, how about multiplication of 2 variables? If I have sine and cosine, right? If we have something like that. So you can deal with them separately. You can see limit of here, then multiply limit of here. Clear? Or both of them together. So means that limit as well can be distributed over multiplication, over division, if m is the result not equal to 0, otherwise you'll get does not exist. And also we can bring the function for power or to the square nth root, sorry. Also can be, what do you mean? For example, I have cubic root of sine x over x when limit x approaches to 0. I say is equal to cubic limit x approaches to 0 sine x over x, and I know by the rule this one is equal to what? Huh? is يلا بيطل يلا we have rule so check. Clear? So also L'Hopital can solve this, because if you look at them you'll get 0 over 0. So I'm going to take derivative of numerator, derivative of denominator cosine x, x approaches to 0, put x and 1 over 1 and is equal to 1. So both of them is true. Directly you can say is a rule, or you can find by L'Hopitals. Anyway, then what was the important things here? We can bring the limit to inside, okay, for any rules, any radicals that we have. Radical means that root. Did you understand what I say? Limit for double variable behaves the same effect as the limit for one variable, for single variables. Single variable. You got it here? Did you understand? Good. Now, look at this example. As I told you, actually you need to please try to just review limit of function, continuity. Then, for example, if you want to learn about 14.3, you need to review the derivative. Just look at them, review it. I don't say study. So please try to review. Okay, now I have this limit. The limit here is easier than the calculus one, actually. But you need to review them, because base it on them. How we solve this one? For example, if I have limit in calculus 1, how we solve that one first one? Yeah.
You try to put it directly in the...
Exactly. Thank you very much. Well done. We put it directly. If there's a problem, we try to solve. If there's no problem, we just put it directly. So I get 4 plus 4. Am I right? So 8 over 1, which is equal to 8. Is there any problem? Did the denominator has got problem? No. It's just not 0, so everything's... Did I get 0 over 0? No. So directly we are going to substitute. The same thing is true for here. When I say x and y approach to 0 and 1, means that x approach to 0, y approach to 1. Clear? So let's us resubstitute or substitute, sorry. So I get what? I get 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. I get what? I'm a 0 over 5 by 0 over 0, 0, 3 over minus 3. You got it? Shall I repeat the first example? No? How about the second one? Yeah? 3 square minus 4 square. 25. Am I right? 5. Did you get any problem? No. So, here we are. Clear, dears? Tamam? Good. Bash. Next example. How about this example? Think, please. Yalla. First, directly. Am I right? Yalla. I get what? So, how you solve 0 by 0? L orbital, but L orbital for here is not working. Why? L orbital was for one variable. Now, how we find derivative of two variables? Long division? No. No. Because we don't have such limit like that for partial, then find the sum. No. So how we solve them? Agadar L orbital a big variable. You need to change to one variable, then you can by anything. But here I cannot let anything, because in your exercise you have such thing like that. You can substitute by something, then use L orbital. Later on, when you copy paste your solution for assignment, don't say teachers say there is no L orbital. I say you need to change your variables to one variable, then you can use L orbital. For example, look, I have sine x over plus y, xy, limit x, y approach to 0, 0. You know what I say? Then here I say let R, this is I think in your exercise, I don't know. Let R be xy. When x approach to 0 and y approach to 0, R as well approach to 0. Am I right? Hello? Good. Now my limit, change it to that. Clear? Now you can use L orbital rule 1. So the result will be 1. But you cannot say directly I'm going to use L orbital to here. It's wrong. Even your answer is correct. Understood? In 14.3 you know why is wrong. Not here. So if you change it, if you copy pasted your solution, when you saw something that, I mean you need to change it. Okay. But now here I cannot change. There is no let. Simplify them. You need to simplify, right? For example, going back to calculus 1, because I know you remembered, I know you know everything, but just for, okay, x approach to 0, 2, 1, for example. I have x squared minus 1, x minus 1. Look. I get what? 0, 0. Am I right? If I put that here. So, what did we do in calculus 1? We say simplify if there is a chance. Am I right? Clear? Understood? Good. Or sometimes you say what? Using conjugate. Conjugate, you remember? For example, you have x plus 1 square minus 1. اشتكي عاتي. In that case, there is no simplification, right? We say we are going to multiply by conjugate. What's conjugate? Oniya? Clear. أمان هذا جيبه هدر ناتشبه مشويت. هبا اللي متكلم برم بس just for remembering باشا. تنابز بجاره remembering که چی من پیست. Clear? Hello? Good. Do you have any question? Did you understand what I say? Sometimes you need to multiply conjugates. So here we can solve by two methods. I don't know your lecture note is using which one of them. You can use conjugate, or you can multiply, make a factor differently. We will make a conjugate. So يلا شي اللي بكين how's conjugate am I right clear dears hello good A جرابة شي denominator x minus y how about numerator y hello ليرن كاكا good so x factor x factor كراو x كاتو تدرو x square minus xy x بفاكتور دركم تا چی ما چی پلاس تو پوز باز چو معیتی داتیم گن که چی واز ده هموش تیبین اوکی تيجيش من ده ايه طبعا هو ما وصل yes you are right اما x يبقى بجوه green of course اما x minus y multiply شي انجا على سر شي first square minus second square وانيا limit x approach clear هو جرات شنو كات اما x y طبعا 0 x over each وانيا 1 and I get what 0 x 0 اما 0 is 0 did you get it or not dears good كات سي solution كا او باسيا كات او conjugate او اشيان دانا نوكي اما ارون او الزيرو داني 0 كاتا 0 plus 0 multiply by 0 and I get 0 clear برقيتيش حالة كده طبعا اتواني x minus y كاب كي بدو وشو any question did you understand good now asking something that say does this limit exist or not if limit does not exist in double variables we need to use two-path method what do you mean by two-path method here's definition forget about this one later on I'm going back to this continuity even if I forget the concept is clear with you two-path test TPT for what for non-existence of a limit you know there's a limit there is no way to find conjugate multiply letting okay then you have what you have two-path test it's calling two-path test for does not exist in example I'm going back to the example okay we are going to solve this example together so y over x if I put 0 I'll get 0 over 0 am I right yalla any method can we multiply by conjugate no there is not binomial by part to use addition and subtraction is there any let because they are going to 0 0 there is no let so we say let y be kx this is called two-path test TPT okay did you understand here then limit of y my limit will change to something like that Clear? And I'll get what? K. So I say it does not exist. تمام؟ كاكا تمام؟ Why no? Yeah, this is the rule. We have two lets in the TPT, two path test. Maybe we say y equal to kx, or maybe we say y equal to kx squared, based on the example. Okay, we start with the simple one. Okay, we say let y be. We try to remove x to get number, or get x, or get something with m. طبعا in your lecture we say m. فرقنا كانية km just symbol. But I say does not exist. Did you understand? Did you understand, Onya? Okay, next example. Yes. I let y يمكن بهين. y يمكن بتشي. by let خارج أما x خويتي وانيا لباتي واقع شيء من دانا kx طا إيه أدوت شيء ديت أروى then limit of k x approach to 0 I got a k constant am I right and I say it does not exist clear شيء clear why does not exist to هرواكي why does not exist ده because yes Bila
K yourself, K does not exist in the equation.
K is number, representing number.
So we do that K.
Okay.
K variable number
باش.
So هذا limit يعني number K does not exist.
بو يعني سبونا بو نمونا اگر x بشه بو 0 اما 2 bit كاتا 2 does not exist كينم او exist ايه عفرم ايه ام باشا نماوت شزر رجع if you don't give any numbers what's the problem for example you say k is 2 she say k is 3 what's the problem here حاجة كيبقى مدوبة حاجة كيبقى بينجمة حرام كونستان هر كونستان half والله ما كداومته بس need more يقطع يعني لا ديالي كلابي ما سيتي هو شانك
just no x مو
no أوش هو ليت معه كالين ليت واي بي x أشيتو بو زيرو أي y أشيتو بو زيرو أي كاتا مش أشيتو بو زيرو كيم بسرچا ألند no كاكمير جاي خو ما بعض الدومين ناكم بعض الليميت كين صوت حاضر بيتين نعم دومين علاقي بيونيا أو كاتا قد لي كشام هي بو continuity you are right ما نبغى ليميت no تيجي مي باشي هنا أبو تيجي مي
في حشماري داري دور كونستانت كشيني جامعة دزنا
حبوا وني نجام دسك من تو بيتم دسك ألند because when we say it does not exist cable limit again does not exist for example limit of x you remember this function أما تنبيره وانيا x أهاو وانا بو الكمبيوتر appealing cell لا ماذا appealing greatest integer يا حرف function يا بقى ما هاللعبة ماما حرف function يبي سيك هذا جراف I say limit approach to 2 from left side and right side. I'll get what? الريزلت يوم بيبلن بو نخشي. أمان سنة؟ 3 أمان سنة؟ ها؟ 1 أو شو نيزاني؟ قبل أخويه. How he know? When I go to positive 2, the graph is where? Y-axis. خو ما باس كريستا. هوني بلي والله نم خوندو calculus 6. Today we review it. So the graph is where? 3 over y. وما نوت؟ أنا graph كاتشي بوين في. Good. How about that one? أما شيء بوي كوي كمان يوم. Y كوي. 1. Am I right? باش. استيعب من بلين. Limit of x approach to 2. But O function can assume it does exist or not? Does not exist. Why? شابو رازك ثانية. يعني شيء mathematically is continue now. Limit جاري. نشوف. Does not exist because the result of limit should be unique. Should be unique. أبي يك result تبعته. Understood? Left to right كيني أبي يك result تبعته. أبي بكاته سه هردوشان. يا بكاته يك هردوشان. There is no way to have at the same time 2 results, right? That's why we say the result of this one is k. K is what? 2, 3, 4, 5, who knows? Square root of 2. So how many possibility do we have for k? Infinite. One year? Maybe you say 0, maybe she say 20, I don't know. So because the result, the result is what? Is not unique. That's why it does not exist. Now you understand? Kaka, limit in calculus 1 should be unique. Or theorem. لهرش نكوري هر رقم كان سوكي. should أما بوشي رقم ماترسا. هرش PDF أكو بونيرم. وأنا أقول. If you feel free, you can do it, but I'm gonna share. Understood? Good. بس توين كودي خود بنوسي. كواتا. That's why 2 path بكاين for what? For does not exist limit. Cam limit for 2 variables. Clear? شو تيجيش لصار بيست سيونيا. Hello? We are going to another part. جربتي كنتم تيمنا كردو حج باز بينا. I'm example. I'm doing بكارين مو ها. I'm gonna use it for continuity. 2xy x square y square. Limit of xy approach to 0. أخوم example درست كنا سري. 2xy x square y square. That one exists or not? Are they direct? Is there any way to make a difference, conjugate, simplify, factor? Say keep say من مكة. Is there any way? No way. One year حكينا و plus أو. So how we solve them? I say let using our job to the exercise during the exam. 2 path test A. Let y be mx. M chia constant. K chia constant. Okay. Then limit أكاد شيء ليه. Am I right? And I'll get what? Clear? Jamaat. Shimankar, what did we do? We bring x squared as factor. Then, Shiti Amayo. Then does not exist. Why? You know. M maybe 2, 1, 0, whatever you like. Clear? Jamaat? إذا M يكبر نرخيكم دسكة. M minus 1 be another result. Why? طول امتحان أوجه بيته علي because results are different, not unique. For example, let M b1 and minus 1. Then bu wanaka çanım desek eve? Hello? How about m minus 1 be? Am I right? ئەوە جوابی تۆ یەکسەر نەڵی دوو ڕقم دەسەکەی بێت لیمیتەکە بکەی حەلی بکەی پیشانی بی کلاریفایکەی دیتیل بی understood you need to give that everything every single step 50% 55 60 you got it good now we are going another type because in your exercise you have 2-3 types so I'm going to another type أول إلى باسية كأنا that one 2x square y another example يتشن نسراس 6 before that example 6 sorry before that one if you remember in calculus 1 we say that A is the number. A, X not. Any number. Put your normal A, B2. But one chichi pista. Clear? عكس كوجانو. You don't need to كاكا خوزاني right to left. A. بعمل بوستي كم جاري فيديوكم. Sorry. Which one? Which one? That one? Yes, yes, thank you. Also that one. As we mentioned, as we mentioned, sorry for pausing the video. As we mentioned, calculus 1, we say right and left. But here for two variables, we have two paths. The paths we mean by right line, straight line like that. As well, maybe when you say y is equal to mx, you know x squared is parabola. So when we say mx means that go to the origin with the parabola and again with the parabola here. Then when we have 0, 0, for this one, if you see the degree of variables is 2, use that path, okay? Better than y mx, y, because between x and y the paths are different. So in case you need to see what's going on, use this path at home, mx, and you will see there's a problem. X will remain. Then when you get this one, after solving, substituting y to be mx squared, you will get, does not exist, you'll get something like that 2m over 1 plus m squared, which means that m different value. And for in calculus 1, when you talk about continuity here, continuity, you have 3 important points as we have at calculus 1, 1, 2, 3. F of x should be exist, f of x define, f of x should be exist, and the third one, x and y should be equal. If you compare with double variables, C, we have the same, okay? Going back to the example, if you remember, we solve this part, does not exist. So I'm going to check step by step. First step, put in f0, 0. This is my function, is equal to 0, so okay, define it, yes, define it. But when we go to the next step to find the limit, we solve that one does not exist, so my function is not continuous. In exam, you need to mention all this information. We say that continuity for compound function. What do you mean by compound? Means that instead of one variable, we have two variables or two functions. Sorry, compound is that two functions. Understood? For example, if I have in calculus 1 limit of this function f of x is equal to x sine x, how we answer this function is continuous or not. So because this compound between x and sine of x, we have two functions, compound between them. So I say I'm going to study one by one. X is the polynomial, continuous or not? Continuous. Sine is the trigonometric functions, continuous or not? Continuous. You know the sine is the wave and there's no gap, there's no any discontinuity point. So in that case I say that's g of x, that one be h. So in that case I say h of x is continuous. You get it here? Now look at here. E is continuous, right? So E is continuous. X minus y is continuous again. Cosine as well continuous. Ln again is continuous because here there is no problem with it. You never get negative part. That's why it's continuous. The compound means that we have two functions, e to power x, e to power minus. E to power minus y. Okay, dear? So we have compound between two functions. That's what we mean. Here with x is continuous. Here with e to power minus y as well continuous. This is e to power x. You can also say this is e to power minus y if I separately sketch it in x and y plane. Then together, when we add them, of course, the composition between two continuous is also continuous. That's why we say they are compound. And we mentioned variables, three variables, if we have it. And we say that in case you have three variables and you want to find limit, see if you substitute them, there is no problem. Just substitute them and you'll get the result. Of course, your exercise has got many important things here. Thank you for listening and see you next session.